Bang! Neevesknives. I'm Jared. My lovely wife, Kara, is playing some Call of Duty. How's everybody doing tonight? Hello, ladies and gentlemen. Is there two different... Oh, Breeze! I didn't know Jimmy was working with you up there at the shop. Tell him I said, what's up? I actually just heard, I talked to George and Eric, and George was telling me that. What's up, Monster? All right, so we got an unboxing. We actually got a couple. One I recorded, but the problem was it was on my other Schmitty and didn't come out too great. So I'm just gonna basically break it down what it was. It was a gift from Civivi. If you guys don't know, the guy who does what's it called? Their stuff, for Civivi. He sent me a package, which awesome, dude, really awesome. His name is Seth. I believe it's Seth. But sent me a little multi-tool key bar. Sent me a lanyard, which is pretty cool. And then this one's really cool. It's got a keychain and it's got a little mini pry bar on it and a multi-tool. Awesome stuff. And check this out. Also, nice little bag and stuff. But check this out. A wood grain Civivi Elementum with the Neevesknives on it. That's awesome. It says Neevesknives right there. I know it's a little blurry, but it does. And very, very awesome. I haven't tried their wood grain Civivi Elementums. Now, this would be right now, we have three of the regular ones, or two of the regular ones, because this is the D2 version. Then we have the S35VN version, and then some of the button lock versions. So that's pretty cool. I also got a little package here from... What's up, baby?
Hi. I want to say hello.
Say hello.
Hello, darkness, my old friend. I know it looks like I don't have pants on, but I definitely have pants on. Don't worry, guys. I know you were worried.
Jeans on.
I don't have jeans on.
It was a joke.
Oh. Sorry, I'll just leave.
Zach sent...
I'm not wanted here.
Oh, stop. Zach sent a bunch of swag, a whole bunch of stickers, and a patch. Where'd you go?
Oh, no, you sticker. You're talking about your sticker. And I thought you was talking about me, but you don't care.
I'm talking about you.
No.
My mom says hi. All right, now we got the big unboxing to get into. This is from Talica. He sent some knives in for sharpening, so we're just going to unbox them right here and see what all we have for sharpening. I don't know how to get into this thing. Unboxing with the Kaiser Deviant. Man, Kaiser's really putting out some knives, and we're going to talk about that here in just a minute. We're going to do some steel talk, some geometry talk, and yeah, a bunch of stuff that I want to talk about. But Kaiser, man, yeah, they've been killing it with some of these knives they're putting out and some of the different steels. Oh, that's awesome. He sent me a little flashlight. That's so cool. Check that out. That's badass. And it's got the little frag pattern in it that I needed. Ha! That's so cool. It looks like it's copper and brass. That is sweet. And it's so compact. Look at that. That is badass. Looks like it comes with keychain. Very cool. Looks like it's from Drop. That's awesome. Thank you, man. Thank you. All right, let me bust this stuff out. So, this is a new fixed blade he had. Actually, I should read the note really quick. All I remember for sharpening. The flashlight's a gift. What do you want to do with it? I appreciate it, man. Thank you. Thank you for the flashlight. We got a bunch of knives in here. So these are all in for sharpening. So this is a custom fixed blade he had done. Woo! Man, that's got some decent geometry. Wow. Let me see if I can get you guys to see this. Look at that thing. Very nice and thin behind the edge, especially for a fixed blade. That is comfortable. Very, very good ergos. And since it has the rock pattern, with round handles, the one problem with rounded handles is they can spin. You know, they tend to spin. This has this rock pattern. So since it has this rock pattern, it's nice and comfortable. Then you got this harpoon where you can really lay your thumb, and it feels really, really nice in the hand. And it even has like a nice taper, you know, kind of like if you look, you can't, I don't know if I can get it to show up. It's got this little spot right there where your pinky really wraps around real nicely. Very comfortable, very cool. We're gonna put a nice edge on here. Ah, man, I forget what steel is on this, but I got it in my I think he let me know on Instagram. Let's get into the next one. Am I doing it the right way? Yeah. Nice sheath too. All right, next. Okay, so this is a blue micarta para 2 with a little clip point on the front. This is K390. Nice. I love me some K390. That's going to do real good. K390 takes a really good edge. If you guys ever get the chance to get a knife in K390, K390 is legit. The only problem with it is that it will corrode. So you want to take care of it. But as long as you take care of it, I mean, it's fine. My K390 right now, the same, I got a Spyderco Pm2, not even a hint of corrosion or anything, but I dry it off. I take care of it. This one looks like it was etched and stone washed, which actually looks really good. And it's got some titanium hardware with a titanium geared backspacer and clip. Really awesome. And it's all purple. So we got a blue and purple combination. Looks really, really good. The action's really good on it too. Very, very smooth. Yeah, these are great work knives. Anybody who hasn't experienced a PM2, you definitely should, because they are great knives, great work knives. It's just a knife. Whoa, what just happened? Why did I just go crazy blurry? What the hell? Come on, camera. But they're just a knife you don't really care about throwing around, beating up, and it just doesn't matter. All right. Oh, we got a ZT. All right, so we got the ZT0393. This is the Hinder edition. It's kind of like oh man, the Eclipse. That thing is cool. Burlap micarta. And this should be 20 CV. Yep, 20 CV. That'll take a good edge. Now, ZT's 20 CV, give or take. I mean, they like some of their older knives, they were running their steels pretty soft. I think they switched that up. I'm not sure exactly how they're doing on the 20 CV, but I'm pretty sure they're doing pretty good with their M390 and 20 CV as to date. But if you have any of their older stuff, they were running like their S35VN soft, probably their M392. It says a beautiful harpoon, drop point harpoon blade shape. The action is amazing on this thing. I'm guessing it's on Teflon because he really likes no, it's on phosphor bronze. Good action though. Very smooth. I think maybe this is on bearings actually. Yeah, I think it's on bearings because I think this comes on bearings. Good action though. Great action. Next. All right, what's in here? Oh, XM18. Oh, this is the one with the regrind. Okay, so This is a Hinder Xm18 with a regrind. It looks like it gets down very thin behind the edge. Wow, yeah, very thin behind the edge. That's gonna sharpen up real quick. I think this is M390. I'm not positive. It might be 20 CV. I don't know. I'll have to ask him. I forget. I think I've sharpened this before. I don't remember. I think I did though. I'm pretty sure I did. And but that was before it had the regrind. Now, man, that grind. I wish I could show it to you guys, but the camera just doesn't work that great on lives. Great action. Pretty sure this one's on is that phosphor bronze? Maybe he's got it on the bearings now. I don't know. Anyways, great action. Pretty sure it's on bearings because it's stupid smooth. D10's really good. Man, that grind is so nasty thin. I can't wait to sharpen that up. I got a lot of sharpening jobs coming up, so I'm probably gonna record some sharpening. I'm not sure. Problem was a lot of the reviews I have that that I want to get to, I haven't been able to because I couldn't record anything. I couldn't record any of the work, and even some of them I brought to work, which I'm going to talk about here in a second. Some of the knives I've been working with at work, but I couldn't record none of it, and any of it that I would have recorded, it wouldn't have mattered. So it was like kind of what was the point to sharpen it or get any of the footage if I can't use it? Now here's his XM18 buoy with a regrind, and I believe this is a hollow. Let me double check. I think this is a hollow. Yes, this is a hollow grind buoy. Look at that thing. Oh, that's going to sharpen up real nice. And this one is 20 CV. Check the action. Very smooth. Oh, yeah, very smooth. That's awesome. And I'm not a huge buoy fan, but some buoys I do really like. And in this case, I like this one because it has the hollow grind. That's just one reason. Two, the tip actually points down in a good way. Now, it does kind of peak up a little bit, but you can still get to it pretty good. But I like the buoys. Sorry, I keep hitting the mic. I like the buoys that go straight down right here that don't have the Persian tip. Just because I find it harder to use the tip for utility cuts or, for using the tip when cutting. And I find that I do a lot of cutting with like that. And I noticed that when I have a knife that has mostly belly, now don't get me wrong, I have some knives with that are all belly. I got knives with belly for days. But I find that I wind up damaging my belly and my blade when I don't need to. So what I'm basically saying is that I find that, busting out the XM24, that when I'm using my belly for some of the cutting I'm doing, I wind up damaging this much of the blade when I only needed to damage just a little bit of the tip, where I could have just used the tip to go across something like this. Instead, now I'm using the blade. So I'm damaging more of my edge that I don't need to. And if it does go dull, then it's not going to cut those materials as clean when my tip would do just fine if I could get to it. But if I can't get to the tip because I have to go, instead of like this, I have to go like this to get to the tip, well, then, it just kind of sucks and you don't get the leverage into the cut. Is Lefty in here? I wish they'd make a no choil non-flipper buoy XM18. I might actually buy another one. I want to see the Skinner blade. I'd love to see well, either a 3-inch or the 3.5-inch with the finger choil non-flipper buoy blade. That would, or not buoy, I mean Skinner blade. That would be badass. Or the sheep's foot, one of the two. Because I think the sheep's foot and that Skinner blade, it's kind of the same. I I do like the sheep's foot though a little bit better, but regardless. What's up, Lefty EDC? Definitely go check his channel out. Talica, I don't know if you've been in here this whole time. We just got done unboxing your box. Have you been in here this whole time? I think you just got in here. We just got done unboxing your box. You're going to have to rewind. But yeah, we just got done checking out some of your knives. Hey, what's up, Ray? Just showing some love, brother. Can't stay. Have a good one. Peace out, man. Thanks for the donation. Thank you, man. Oh, Triple EDC. Hey, thank you. What should I require people to write in the comment of my giveaway later? I leave it in your hands. This is true power. Don't abuse it. Oh, damn it. Ooh, you should make it like something like if you have a dog or something, like make them talk about it like a dog. Because the way I do it is I usually make them name something that's kind of specific, because you know what happens is when you have giveaways, a lot of people read the comments and they don't watch the video. They literally won't watch the video. They'll just go down in the comments and see like, what is everybody saying the same thing of? So if like everybody's saying you know, whatever, you know, it is like, you know, I love the Kaiser October, then they'll just say the same thing because they know that's the keyword. But I usually make it like a dog's name or something, or I just make up a name or something. So that's what I would do if you have a dog. If you don't have a dog, then yeah, some sort of name. That's what I'd say. Either a name of a knife or something. But usually you don't want to make it towards too easy where people can just read it in the comments. What's up, Sup? Thank you, man. What's up, bro? Glad to have you back from your little hiatus. New camera, fast focus is insane. Yes, it's so good. Here's, if you guys look, here's the camera. You can see it. It even looks badass. I got the case coming, man. I can't wait for the case to come because this is dangerous for me. This is so dangerous for me to have this damn phone without no case. I'm liable to break it before the case gets here. And I'm hoping I ordered it from the right company. Well, not from the right company, but from a company that'll send it quick, because I made a mistake a couple weeks ago and I ordered something that still ain't here because it's coming from China. So, you know, if you order something from Amazon, it's usually there pretty quick. But sometimes you wind up fucking ordering something. What are you, iPhone man, Lefty? I should say ew to you. Zach, thanks, bud. We just unboxed your little package you sent. Thanks, bud. Thanks for the donation. Also, thank you to everybody who donated last week in support of the phone. I really appreciate that. You guys are awesome, and it definitely helped out. But yeah, I ordered some shit thinking that it would be here quick. Still ain't here, so I'm hoping the same thing didn't happen with my phone or my case. I need to make sure I'm better with that when I order stuff, that I pay attention to the date it's going to be here, where it's coming from, and everything. Because sometimes, man, I just order something and I just expect it to be here in a few days because almost everything is. And you get in the routine of, you know, that just being a habit. Like, okay, it'll be here in a few days. But sometimes you order something and it's like 3 months later. Speaking of that, the ordering stuff, just so you guys know, anytime I link anything down in the description, the only affiliates that we have are through Amazon. Any other links like that I put, we don't make anything from. That's just for you guys to get a percentage off or something like that. It has nothing to do with us. The only time, the only affiliate I should say we have is with Amazon. So that's the only time we make a dime, is from the affiliates. We can't make anything if we're not an affiliate, unless if the company offers us something like that. Like I spoke about it a couple weeks ago, that a company was asking me, you know, like if we wanted to do that, but then we had to buy stuff, and it just didn't make sense to me. Uh, for me to buy something to get a discount for you guys. And now for me, I would have to advertise that thing for you guys to buy, which I have no problem advertising something if I like it. But for me to put money into it to find out if I like it for a discount, that just doesn't seem legit to me, because, you know, I want to know I'm going to like it to say something. Just like another company got a hold of me and asked me if they could send me some stuff and if I would, you know, do some videos on it. And I said, my response was, yeah, you can send me some stuff, and if I like it, then I'll make some videos. Otherwise, you're going to get a video. And if I don't like it, the last thing you're going to want from me is for me to promise 5 videos, right? Think about that. I promise 5 videos, and then you get 5 videos of me just shitting all over it. You'd rather me just do 1 video of shitting all over it. But if I like it, then yeah, you're gonna, you know, then I have no problem doing multiple videos, because in that case, now I'm gonna say nice things, or like it'll be like in a you know, maybe a top 5, or you know, nice micarta video or some shit. Which, speaking of micarta, Kaiser, man, they're killing it with these micarta. They have so many different kinds of micarta. This stuff is really good quality. And I noticed on the Kaiser horn, I know it's going to be the same micarta as this one. It's just tan. It's more like not really that color, but I would say closer to this color, but it's really not even this color. It's more of like a yellowish color, but it looks really nice, like really nice. But the micarta is very good quality. This is kind of the in-between. So the red parts are more hard, and then the white parts are furry. That's the way it is. I can literally feel the fibers. But their green micarta, like on this one, is more the dense stuff. It's not really the furry stuff. And then they're dealing with a lot of different steels, right? So we got M390, 20 CV, and then now 3V. And this is another one of their micarta. Now, this stuff is the furry stuff, the real fuzzy, soft stuff. But 3V, right? I don't know. I didn't bring this up in the unboxing, but it'll most likely, or will come up in the review. I don't know if that was a good idea. 3V on this knife. Now, I know it wasn't Kaiser's decision. So it's not Kaiser you say something to about that. That would be Matt Christensen, who chose to put 3V on this. But 3V is a really tough steel. Now, the only thing I could figure out, which I do appreciate them putting a backspacer and full liners, because it really wouldn't have made sense if they would have did one of these jobs where the liners are inset, where it's just encased inside the micarta, and it's just 2 backspacers, because that makes this knife not as strong, of course, right? It's very light too. But 3V doesn't make sense in that case. Now with this one, I don't know yet. I mean, maybe there's something to it, and after I really start beating on it and using it at work, which I'm gonna do, maybe I'll find out that this, you know, was a good choice. But I mean, 3V is more of a tough steel, you know, for you know, hard use knives, something you're going to maybe do some prying with and some beating and batoning and stuff like that. But it does hold a good edge. It does have good, you know, decent edge retention. So maybe there's something to that. So what I'm really going to test on it is this tip. I'm going to see how good this tip is without wearing out on certain surfaces. And for all I know, they're running the heat treat like shit, though, because that's going to be the one other thing, too, is the heat treat, because it really doesn't matter what steel they put on any of these knives if the heat treat is crap. And I do think a lot of companies are doing better. Now, I want to see if you guys can tell me what knife this is. I got a knife I'm going to break out. Not that one. I got 3 new knives that I purchased, and I got the unboxing coming tomorrow. But, okay, I'll do this one. So 3 new knives, and I want to see if any of you guys can guess what company this is. Okay, I'm just going to show you basically the whole thing. What knife is that? Anybody tell me what company that is? It's my first time experiencing this company. Does anybody know what company this knife is? It's micarta. Nope, not Asher. Not Asher. This is a big knife. This is probably at least 8 inches. It might be actually like 9 inches. Here it is next to the Demco AD20. The 2 other knives are a little bit smaller, I think. Oh, somebody's got it correct. The War Spear. So this is a War Spear knife. 14C28M blade steel. Front flipping action. Micarta. So I got 3 of their designs to test them out. I seen them on Instagram, or I seen somebody posted them on Instagram. And I wanted to test them out to see if they're any good, if they're good quality, if I can recommend them. And so I got some, and I got the unboxing tomorrow. Like I said, there's 3 of them. So here's a little sneak peek to tomorrow's unboxing. The box is pretty cool though. They send extra pivots, they send the tools to take it apart, an extra clip. Yeah, they pretty much hooked it up. The packaging is just a box, but it's pretty cool that they send all those extras though, because it's nice having the extra screws, the knife wipe. I love these knife wipes. And then the tools to take it apart. It's pretty awesome. How much money? Cheap. It's well, the micarta and 14C28N, I mean, is already, well, 14C28N is usually considered, I think of it as mid-grade, but you can get it for a good price. That's why I'm always upset when companies are not choosing that, when it's like other companies are selling it for 30-40 bucks or something. I think that's all they were, like 30-40 bucks, maybe 45 bucks or something, those knives. But when companies are choosing some of these other steels over, yeah, they're about 40 bucks. Thanks, Todd. But I just wish a lot of the companies would just choose the 14C. And speaking about that, if you guys didn't see, Outpost 76 did his cut test video yesterday, and I don't want to give up the results. I don't like doing that. I want you guys to go see it, but the 14C did do pretty decent. But he tested 2 knives. One was an older knife that he's had for a while. Another one, I don't know how long, but they're more of the budget end of 14C28N. So to me, this is a good look into the cheapest of the cheap of 14C28N, because I guarantee if you check the HRC on those, and also speaking of that, look, if you go into his description, he has a spreadsheet. And it shows all their testings and HRC testings of what they came out with. And if you go down in the spreadsheet, you'll see a lot of the 14C came out with like 57. Some, I think one was like 55.6 or 57 or something like that. But, mid 50s. And I'm guessing that those were basically about that, right? Mid 50s. And they still did pretty decent. Now, when we talk about and this is an if, Civivi is doing their 14C, it's 61 HRC. If they are, which I really think that they're doing something like that, they, between 60 and 61, they're saying it's between 61 and 63. Let's just say at the bottom, 61. If they're doing it at 61, that would make that 14C get way better performance than any of that other stuff. Now, obviously, it means it has to have a good quality heat treat already, But knowing what we know about 14C and that it's easy for companies to heat treat, that if they, since it's easy, most likely it's got a good heat treat. Now, if they did get it at 61, that would be incredible. And Outpost 76 did say that he was going to be testing some of theirs. I will say I could tell a difference in sharpening War Spears 14C versus my riffle. I bet. I don't doubt that War Spears 14C isn't like as good as Civivi's. Now, in my opinion, as of right now, Civivi's has felt like the best 14C I've ever tested. Kershaw does a pretty good job with it too, but I can tell the difference between that too. That just Civivi's just it feels superior. It really does. And now I'm really hoping that doesn't change. I'm hoping that they didn't just throw it out there and that's how it's just how it was from the bat, and then it's gonna change as time goes on. I had that discoloration on my slish buoy. I used that rough side of microfiber for about 2 minutes with Windex and it took it off. Hopefully it helps you. All right, see you later, Triple E. Thanks, bud. I appreciate you. Got a field grade talus yesterday. Abapus or Abaput as comfortable to hold as a random handful of Lego blocks. Doesn't sound very comfortable. But if those other ones in the mid 50s are getting, and I'm just going to say on average, 200 feet of cardboard, then you could estimate or imagine that Civivi's at 61 would probably do, I mean, budget super steel. Like somebody else said that to me. That's why I'm using that phrase, like a budget super steel kind of performance. Maybe not quite super steel performance, but pretty damn close to it. And it's a budget steel. So, obviously it kind of teases us a little bit because then you're looking at other 14C and it's never going to perform as good as the, Civivi's if it is at 61, but it still makes it to where buying their knives, you're getting good geometry, good fit and finish, good all this other stuff, and a good heat treat. Man, that's killer on all angles. But when we talk about this 3V, though, I just don't know if this is the best choice for this. Maybe it is, maybe it's not. We'll find out. Now, going to this knife, their October, this thing's badass. What's up, Lindy Lou? But yeah, if you guys get a chance, this October is pretty awesome. One, the action's really good. It's a very lightweight, though. It's not a heavy duty knife. It's very light. I can flex the scales. It's more of a light duty EDC, and they did pick 20 CV in it. So it does beg the question why you pick 20 CV if it's so much of a light duty knife. But I don't think that was a bad decision because you're at least going to get great edge retention, or hopefully going to get great edge retention depending on the heat treat. But good geometry. This fuller is going to give you a little drag, but it does still give you action. So it's not like they're giving you a fuller that doesn't work. So it does work. The action's really good. The ergos are really, really comfortable. It's very thin. So this is definitely a winner in my opinion. Now, if you guys didn't see in that video, they did have some more of these in stock, which I like this thing, man. This flipperless mini sheepdog. I can't wait for that titanium version to come out. It's supposed to come out this year. We'll see about that. Spidey used K390 in their bug knife, so 20 CV for light use is okay. Yeah, no, like I said, I'm not saying that it's not, because since it does get great edge retention, because And it's not like M390 is a hard use steel. M390 would be the reason why you'd use it is for the edge retouching. That's what I was saying. I think that that's okay to put M390 or 20 CV because I think this one's 20 CV. Yeah, this one's 20 CV. So to put 20 CV on here, I think that was a good move. And you're talking $120. I got it linked in the video, the unboxing or not unboxing. Yeah, the first impressions of this. This one with the 3V was like $100 or something. These are killer deals, man. Think about it. Where else can you get 3V at $100? That's crazy. That's a really good deal. I'll like it even more in the regular size. I'm not sure if we're talking about this knife or not. Oh, the sheepdog. Me too. Me too. For sure. But try this thing. It's really good because unlike the other mini sheepdog, you can get a full grip on this because you don't have the flipper tab pushing you down. You get a full grip and the action detent is really good, right or left-handed. I mean, it's really good. But yeah, I agree. I'd like to see it in the full size too. But, I didn't see this year that they were bringing out any in the full size. I only seen they had the titanium versions for the minis. What's up, Hawaii? What's up, bud? How'd the 154 sharpen up on the sheepdog? Okay, so I haven't sharpened this 154 yet. This one's got to get the edge put on it. It's actually really dull right now. But I have sharpened a bunch of Kaiser's 154 CM and sharpens up good. No complaints. I personally will not take it to a high grit. I've never really seen 154 CM like a high grit. Now you can do it and it's still very sharp. It's just slick. It doesn't have the bite that you want from a very sharp edge. Now, if you lay the edge back very far, you can get it to have more bite than if you raise the angle. But I think it's best about 600 to 1,000 grit. If anyone is new here, me and Q1 Fiend throw some channel links in the chat. If you're not already subscribed, consider taking a second just subscribing. It's a great way to support the community. Yes, thank you, Wallaby. Yes. So yes, you'll see sometimes links will get thrown up if you guys want to check out some of the things I'm talking about. They try to keep up. I talk fast though, so I appreciate all their hard work. They definitely help me out by throwing links up there. So if you guys want to check some stuff out or sub to any of the channels or anything like that, and I do appreciate if you do like the content and like EDC knives and like talking shit, then drop me a like. And if you're not subscribed, think about it. I need this knife sharpened. I don't know what knife it is. So, modding knives. I was thinking about talking about modding some knives because I know a lot of people, they think about modding knives. Oh yeah, yeah. I should have mentioned that. I seen Richie B was carbonizing a lock face on Instagram. If you guys have any knives that are getting lock stick, talk to knife modders on Instagram. Lindy Lou's here right now. Talk to them. They can carbonize your lock face for you to stop or help prevent lock stick. It happens to a lot of knives like Striders, which we can talk about all day. Almost all of them have bad lock stick. Emerson's. There's a lot of knives out there that don't have a steel lock bar insert, and it's just a titanium frame lock, and it has lock stick. Get it carbonized, and you can help get rid of that or prevent it. How is the Tucson TS129? Amazing knife. I like that knife a lot. I only here for the dog whispering tips. We'll go into some dog whispering tips here in just a little bit, John. For sure. There was actually a couple things I wanted to talk about. I'm doing great. Oh, that's for us. So, but talking about carbonizing lock faces, there are a lot of knives like Striders. When me and Steve were on here, Steve was talking about some Striders, their titanium isn't, I don't know. So I don't want to speak and say that it's just not heat treated at all. He said that. Maybe. I don't know. But at the very least, it doesn't seem that their lock faces are carbonized. And that's why they get the horrible lock stick. Now, I will say the best versions of the Striders that I've tried, the customs, I tried the Marfione custom and a regular custom. Both of them did not have that issue. So they were definitely carbonized and they were badass. They were really, really badass. The lock stick on my SNG was horrendous. Here we go. Right here. Knife Star just talking about it. I pretty much had to use a pry bar to disengage it. Absolutely. And it sucks because with some knives, they get a little bit of lock stick, and it's as if you just need to work them in. That's it. Just, flip them a bunch of times, let it work its way out. It seems like with some of those Striders, it just gets worse and worse and worse, and it never gets better. So the best thing for you to do is to turn it over to knife modders and let them carbonize it. Hey, thank you, man. Oh, go smash that like button. Thank you, Mitch. I appreciate the donation. Thank you. Check out the ZT I sent you. I always get a ton of metal in the bearings. I think it's the titanium scale being soft. Yeah, I'll check it out. You're getting metal, huh? That's weird. Yeah, I'll definitely check it out. I wonder if it's the bearings breaking in, and I don't know. Could be a few different things, but here's Jared's Instagram. Get in contact with him. Oh, thank you, man. Yeah, if you guys need any knife sharpening, definitely use that link. Get a hold of me on Instagram and send me a private message. And if you do not have Instagram, you can always get a hold of me on email, jrneed@gmail.com. What's up, EDC Journey? Oof, long day of editing. Just stop to say hello. Switching on the TV. All right, bud. I was thinking about getting a Strider AR. So that's different because Medford does that. So I've handled two of them and they didn't have the lock stick issue, but that's Medford doing them. It's not Strider. And I don't know who does, or I'm guessing it was just Strider doing them. They're regular knives, but Medford does those and no lock stick at all. It's just like a Medford. Now, some people have said, I've heard of other people saying that their Medfords had lock stick. I've personally never experienced one with lock stick, but a lot of times, if you're experiencing lock stick with a titanium frame lock, it's the oil you put on it. You're putting too much oil and it's getting on your lock face. Dry your lock face off. If that doesn't work, put a little permanent marker on it or some lead from a pencil or both. That's what I do. I usually put some permanent marker. I put about 2 layers of permanent marker, dry it really good. And then I take a number 2 lead pencil and I write on the lock face. And it goes away. Now it might come back after a while. Then you just do it again. But if you keep that lock face dry from your oil, a lot of times the stick will just go away on its own. It's just because that oil gets in there and it makes it really bad. It makes lock stick. Man, I was cutting this cardboard yesterday. I've never seen cardboard like this. This cardboard it seemed like regular thickness of cardboard, maybe a little bit thicker than normal, but it was basically just the same thickness as regular cardboard, but it had 4 layers in it. So imagine, how like you have the outside, panel of cardboard. Imagine 4 layers of that. It was so dense. Trying to cut it was a bitch. I mean, it sucked. And I lift my chair a little bit. And I honestly probably would never use somebody else's knife like that I had for review to cut that stuff. I would only use probably my own knives because if I felt like I was being Like I felt like I was using a knife, like hard use. That's what I felt. I literally felt like I was abusing a knife trying to cut that stuff. And yeah, cutting it, I really felt like the ergos from the knife. I've used two different knives to cut it up. A knife that I thought was very comfortable wound up showing, how uncomfortable it is when you're cutting something that dense. It's crazy how many things in a handle or how uncomfortable a handle can wind up being when you're trying to pressure through something so dense. But damn it, I never seen no cardboard like that. I do it to my slicer and that fixed blade. I have the same shit at work. Yeah, so the cardboard I have at work is just regular cardboard. Like, I mean, we have different thicknesses, obviously, but I mean, just regular cardboard. The most we have is like the double thick. I think it's double panel or whatever it's called. I ain't never seen that other shit, man. That stuff is so dense, it's stupid. It sucks to cut up. Like I literally felt like I took four pieces of cardboard, which basically you are because that's basically what it is, just compressed into a thin piece. But I felt like I put four pieces together back to back and was trying to push through it. But it's deceiving because it's thin. So being thin, I mean, it's very deceiving. Yeah, very, very dense stuff. Something you wind up packaging like TVs with or something, like something very expensive would go inside cardboard like that. Um, but modding knives, I want to talk a little bit about modding knives. Um, so I get asked about modding all the damn it, this damn camera. I get asked about modding knives all the time. And I think people, if you're gonna mod your knives, practice on something that you don't care about at first because it's never going to come out the way you imagine if you're not used to doing it. If you haven't done it 5, 10, 15, 20 times already, it's not going to come out the way you think. Jared, does it matter which direction cage bearings go in? Yes and no. So if it doesn't have the cutout on the blade, so if the blade is flat and the bearings are just going to be rolling right on the surface of the blade, then put the closed section towards the blade. If it does have a ring cut in on the blade itself, then it's not that big of a deal because the open part's going to be captured inside of the blade. But if you just want to be safe, put the closed side on the knife itself and the open part on the handle. But it's never, modding your knife, it'll come out the way you want after you practice and you see like how things go. Now, always prep as much as you can because the worst thing you can do is rush into it and start modding your knife. And then just because you're rushing, you just want to get something done. Prep, watch a bunch of videos, learn how to do it really good. Like if you're etching your blade, learn how to do it. Make sure that you could literally tell somebody how to do it if before you do it. Because it's the little details, like when you're etching your blade. Say if you're using the Winx rust remover, um, when it's in there, it can be deceiving because you can't see it etching because the steel that comes off of the blade while etching stays on it until you touch it. So when you pull it out, it looks like it didn't even get darker. Then second you touch it and rinse it off, bam, it's like it's black. So like just little details like that mean everything. So practice on something that you don't care about first. If you're gonna mod a lock bar or maybe a lock bar access, practice on some cheap G10 or something with one of your bits. If you're gonna move a lock bar over to strengthen a detent or weaken it, do it very, very lightly because you don't want to ruin your detent. And every little bit counts. The smallest little bit is a lot when it comes to a detent and the detent strength. I don't know if I said it, but got some of those Gillian bearings and they're dope as fuck. That's awesome, man. Yeah, the Gillian bearings, man, those things are sweet. They're even sweeter the longer they're in. So it's like when you first put them in, they're good. After about 2 weeks, they're really good. They'll cut in a track basically. Once that track is broken in, they get stupid smooth. You just got to give them a couple weeks of you actually using and flipping the knife. Now, if you didn't fucking touch the knife, then obviously it's not going to break in. But if you're flipping your knife and letting them break in, yeah, it's crazy how smooth they get after a couple weeks. And anyone watch Jeff Blavat Tough Knives on YouTube back when he was Tough Thumbs modding knives? Yeah, I do remember that. That was a long time. A couple years ago. Maybe it was longer than that. Might have been like 3 or 4 years ago. But yeah, I used to. The riffle I bought off Lifty has skiff bearings on them, and it's butter. That's awesome. You got a good deal. Shit, you got some bearings in there too. That's awesome. Anyone see that new CJRB model with the green accents on Instagram? They had some for sale on their website, but they were $90. I think they were more expensive because they were prototypes. Well, you know what I seen? Where was it? I don't remember if it was Amazon or like Blade. I think it was Blade HQ. I seen 2 of the same knife. I think it was I don't remember. Maybe it was Knife Center. Anyways, they had 2 of the same knife, and one of them was like $180. Oh, that's what it was. It was this knife. They had the titanium and the micarta one. I wanted the micarta one. They had one micarta one for the same price as the titanium, so they mislabeled it. So don't get fooled and wind up buying one of these for $180 when they're $120. The 180 ones are the titanium versions. Get this. You know how I was down for a couple days because I couldn't film? When I came back and I was checking my things, I swear to God it said this. I wanted to screenshot it. It said 53 years ago. That's because like the video I posted, the last video I posted, it said 53 years ago. And I looked at it, I said, oh, fuck, I haven't been gone that long. Holy shit. 53 years ago. That's what it said, how long ago I posted that video. The YouTube must have like glitched out or something. 53 years ago when it was like 3 days ago. Who has the micarta Malaya? Yeah, I haven't got that yet. I got the G10 one, but I did see that. They got the micarta Malaya out. That looks pretty good. Not bad, Russ. How you doing? Unless you're talking to the other Jared. Oh, last week we talked about SG knives. So, somebody wound up going and buying one, which I think is awesome. So, shout out to them. I'm not going to say their name or anything, but I thought it was awesome that I could bring a little business to SG Knives after, since I love their knives so much. So after he bought them, so when I said that price, 450 to 500, now that would be the base price. So not an integral, probably D2, and just bare bones. Whatever the hell that means. Not time mask is, just regular titanium, regular frame lock, not an integral. So he sent me the sheet or the thing saying how much everything costs. So if you want X steel at $100, if you want, X steel, you can take off. There was like a base price, like of like $750. And if you take, this steel, then take off $100 or whatever. If you take this steel, add $100. But his one coming out to like $775, I think. And to get the integral version, though, it's like an extra $300. So it's like 900 to 1,000 for that knife. Now I'm going to show the picture of the knife I'm talking about so people know. Also, they do have a thumb stud version, or he has a thumb stud version of that knife. So just so you guys can see it, that's one of them. Now let's look at the one that I love, which is the one with the hole. He's got a bunch of different versions of these. But yeah, I found out the actual prices from somebody who's actually buying one. But here's my baby. Oh man, that thing looks gorgeous, doesn't it? The rock pattern. I could give or take the Timascus clip, even though I think that looks gorgeous. Don't get me wrong. Timascus with the collar, fuck yeah. But even with just a regular titanium clip, it's awesome. But that's the integral though, which to me that's what I'd want. But you know, you're talking an extra $300 for the integral version. But damn it, does it look sweet. And if you look at the bottom of it, you can see how the handle swells in. How it's thicker on the top and then thinner towards the bottom. If you guys can see that. Damn it, that thing looks badass. But yeah, figured I'd let you guys know since we talked about it last week. Very yummy. Very, very yummy. Recenti Snafu. But that was SG Knives, just so you guys know. SG Knives. You guys can find them on Instagram. Oh, another cheap custom. Because since we were talking about custom knives for $500, because you can get that knife for about $500, but you're gonna get it in D2. You won't get an integral, you know, so on and so forth. But you guys can get, I believe, still they might have raised their price, but when I got this knife given to me, I think they were going for $500, and that is the Quest Custom Knives. So Quest Custom Knives, I believe they start out at about $500. If you guys are ever interested, it's a good way to get into custom knives. I know I did say South African knives. You do get you get a better bang for your buck if you're looking to get into custom knives because the money difference, you know, your money just goes farther in South Africa. So ever try anything from CMF? I don't know what CMF is, to be honest. I'm sorry. I just secured a natural tie smock with red hardware and a clip. Very excited. That's awesome. Hell yeah. That's badass. That's really sweet. Oh, yeah, there is if you guys want to check that Instagram out from SG Knives, he has a lot of other stuff, but definitely go check out what he has. Quest isn't making what? I didn't know that. Everything says discontinued. Oh man, I just spreaded false information. Oh man, I'll make sure I punish myself later. Um, Sad to hear that. I wonder why. I wonder if they just couldn't afford what they were doing because I mean they're doing good prices. So basically, I got a collector's piece. Just joking. I wonder if they're going to wind up using an OEM or something. Maybe things are just getting too expensive for them. CMF Metalworks. All right, fuck it. We're going to look them up. I'm already on Instagram. CMF Metalworks. Let's see who they are. Oh, yeah. I did try one of these. Let me show everybody what it looks like. I tried one of these from Ryan, from Spirited Blades. Very, very nice. Now, the one thing I will say negative about it, and let me just say right off the bat, very, very nice. The fit, the finish, the tolerances was amazing. On the one that I handled, just the one, it did have quite a thick spine. So the tip on it wound up being thicker than I'd personally like on a knife that size. Now, it could have just been that one because when I'm looking at some of these they look like they're not quite as thick as the one I tried. That one looks like it has a deep hollow grind. Now, the one I tried had a deep hollow grind on it, so the cutting edge was fine. Look at this, solid gold and meteorite pivots. That's crazy. A meteorite and gold. But yeah, I just noticed that it had a really thick tip on it and a really thick spine. Now, like I said, that was just a one. And I know my camera's like fighting like hell to keep focus because I keep messing around. He does insane custom and he does custom pivots out of exactly. Yeah, I was just showing that yeah, he does insane work, period. You know who does some amazing fucking knives is Usler. I got 2 reviews on Usler's customs. Damn it, those are some badass knives. Uh Let me see if I can find them. Oh, yeah, I'm spelling it wrong. Here we go. Cody Usler. Oh, these knives are so badass. I've gotten to experience 2 of them. The small one, the Duck, and there's the DUK and then the Duckling. It's kind of like a higher end Sabenza. I know it's kind of crazy to say. Best thumb studs on the market right there. Best thumb studs. The detent is so crisp and so clean. It's insane. It almost feels, and you know what? Lavender Pants brought this to my attention. So the whole blade, the whole haptic, the detent, the way the detent feels is how his detent feels, but on thumb studs. Now, Lavender Pants brought to my attention that Lindy, Lou, and Richie were had modded. I don't know how many, but modded some thumb studs on one of these, and I imagine that the detent would feel similar to a one of those Uslers. So yeah, pretty sweet though. The detent on this thing is crazy, but so was the Uslers. Like it's the break when you and it's mixed with the thumb stud too, because since his thumb stud is so great, there's just something to it's one thing having a great detent on a knife, but then another thing to have the placement for your finger, whether it's a flipper tab or a thumb stud, having the thumb stud be the right size, the right placement, the right texture, and everything for you, coupled with the detent, makes the action just insane. And those Uslers have tall thumb studs, and then they got the bevel going around the top with some not jimping, but kind of gearing. They're like geared, but they're very comfortable. And man, do they work great. The detent studs were fucking amazing. I bet. I can imagine. I imagine they were. I was trying to picture it after Lavender Pants told me about the one you guys did. Sounds insane. I would love to feel this kind of detent with a reverse flick, because in this case it's a very strong detent, but you can always change that because it's got an adjustable detent nub. Um, Either way, I'd like to try it just like this with this strength and all. I tend to slow roll knives with thumb studs. Maybe it's just me. I do both, but I like to like a knife like this beg letter 2. You don't want to slow roll it. The detent is so crisp. It's like almost like a and you know what? And I kind of take that back because I love to slow roll the SOCOM Elite. I was gonna say it's kind of like a budget SOCOM Elite, but the SOCOM Elite, I love to flick and slow roll. This one, I like slow roll. It's okay, but the break of the detent is nice and strong, and man, it just flies. It's so snappy. But I don't mind slow rolling. I like slow rolling a lot of knives, but I like the action. I like the detent, a nice break. It just kind of depends. I bought a vise though, so I'll be changing out the thumb studs on my Sabenza now because I got the vise. Tried doing with a couple other things with a C clamp and stuff, and I just can't get the thumb studs out without a vise. So I got a vise now. So be changing those out here very soon. Slow roll a PM2. Yeah, I don't mind doing that either, but it's nice flicking the bitch. But I mean, I don't mind doing a slow roll. I slow roll, I mean, quite often, but not as often as I flick. You know what they say, slow rolling is for grandpas. Grandpa. Thumb stud knives with strong, crispy detents and in washers is my fucking jam. Tell you what, this bearing system that Kaiser has on this beg letter too, pretty damn sweet. But it's a strong detent with a nice break, and it's so smooth. Like, look at how it's fall shut action for sure. It's really nice. You don't expect it on this bag letter 2. You do not expect the action to be as good as it is. It's so good. You should offer knife breaking in services. I don't see during the lives I sit here and like flick knives, and I mean I flick my own knives, but I don't take other people's knives and just sit there and flick the shit out of them, because that is something I do want to talk about, and I almost talked about last week. You guys want to be careful. I mean, don't get me wrong. Certain knives are going to be okay. So like the ball lock from Spyderco, from like the Mannix, possibly compression locks. Certain locks are going to break in slower where it's not going to be that big of a deal. But with certain liner locks and frame locks, every time you flick it, you are either A, moving the lock bar over farther, and depending how early the lockup is, or making the detent weaker, or making the lock bar weaker. So you only have so many flicks on a knife. Yes, they will last a very long time, and that might be hundreds of thousands of flicks. But just know, that when you're flicking a knife over and over and over and over, eventually that lock bar is going to get weak and either become too weak or it's going to start moving over. There are some knives, depending on how their lock face geometry is, where it might just move over to like 100%. We've all seen that with some knives, like say the rat models. The rat models, their lock bars tend to move all the way over. And as you use it and use it and use it, and every time when you're putting pressure through a cut, you're putting pressure towards the lock bar or the stop pin, which is in return making the lock bar move over and over and over as you're cutting with it, let alone as you keep flicking it. Every time you flick it, that lock bar is just, slamming into position. Eventually, it goes all the way over, over time. But, there are some knives that take it better than others. So, with certain knives that you're going to fidget with, in my opinion, I like to do it with certain knives that I know it's not really affecting. If I'm going to sit there and just fidget over and over and over. Flicked a Gerber paraframe one time, and it's now 100%. I know what you mean. Oh, fuck. That's hilarious. Rockstead time. Is it Rockstead time? So now the Rockstead's like the king of slow rolling. This is, I can front flip it. Yes, I can flick it. I can even reverse flick it. But it just likes to be slow rolled. She likes it. And that lockup, when it swings in and it right here, very, very nice. Now, the lockup on this is very solid, but the geometry is insane. You can really feel it. This thing is so solid. Got to wipe it now. Wipe it down. Wipe it down. I need to take it apart and put the I still haven't done that. Put the Chris Reeves grease on it. I want to try that because I tried the KPL on it, which is okay. I'm not that happy with it, and I think the grease is going to do better because it has washers a lot like Sabenza. They don't like us. Yeah, I want to try the Civivi Imperium. I do want to try it. Oh, you know what I got coming? I got the Convict coming. You guys know what the Convict is? Anybody know what the Convict is? The Concept Convict by Sheepdog Knives, made by Concept. Looks pretty sweet. It actually kind of resembles this a little bit, just a little bit, but I got that on the way. Got it on the way. Can't wait to try it. I also got one of their other models too, their other titanium model. My Nkosi for sure is a slow roller. Yes. I'll sit there forever just locking and unlocking, locking and unlocking. Anything with phosphor bronze does better on the Reeves type of grease. Yeah, I agree. Especially with their type, because they have the phosphor bronze with the holes, punched in them, which is going to help. And this one just has the giant phosphor bronze washers like a Chris Reeve knife. So I already know it's going to do better with it. I'll still put the KPL heavy on the detent because that's what KPL heavy's for the detent ball. But I'll put the grease on the actual washers. They're protesting the Kara isn't around. That's why they won't drop a like. Yes, I like the look of that concept. The only thing I am like looking down on it about is that it's one-sided. It's not that disc, or not disc, that thumb stud bar thing that they made is not on both sides. It's only on one side. I do kind of wish it was on both sides. I got them linked in the every video. Go under sharpening supplies, and I have KPL in there. If you go to my most recent video, scroll down, you will find it under sharpening supplies, KPL. You will find it. And you can help support and get yourself some knife pivot lube. Evolved. Yeah, he's particular about his kukris. He only gets them from Nepal. He wants them authentic. Authentic kukris are made in Nepal. I ordered a custom axe. It's going to take 9 months. American made. 9 months. Holy shit. What's it made out of? Time. What the fuck? Sounds like a long time to wait for an axe, but hey, it'll be badass. All right, Lindy Lou, enjoy your food. I don't know why the hell this is popping up. Oh yeah, I was going to talk about some dog stuff here in a second, so we'll talk about some of that here in a second. I did have a random story I was going to tell about an old breakup a long time ago. Pretty funny. We'll go into that in a second. It's pretty hilarious in my opinion. Jared in his prime doing some breakups. But let me close this up. Because I think that was about all the little details I wanted to talk about. Now we talk about whatever you guys want to talk about. And I know someone in here wanted to do some dog training talk. If you guys ever have any questions about dog training, all you guys got to do is ask. I have no problem answering any questions about dog training. And I was going to talk about a buddy of mine who was having issues with his dog, and I had a conversation with him. And it made me think about some of the things I was talking about on here the other day. I just sent a photo of the axe on Instagram. All right, I'll check it out. Your passion for them rubs off on all of us. Seems logical. That folder, that kukri folder from who the hell did it? I can't remember who did it, but it was on Stasa 23's channel. That thing was pretty awesome. Man, that thing sounds good, doesn't it? Sounds delicious. Love the sound of that knife. How much peanut butter? Oh, fuck. How much peanut butter should I use to entice my lab with? The question is where are you putting the peanut butter, Drew? Fox Knives. Yes, Fox Knives made that kukri folder. That thing looked pretty awesome, but it looked a little thick. I know it's a kukri, so it's supposed to be a little thick, but I don't know. It looks pretty awesome though. And one thing about that kukri is that when you look at it, it looks like it would be a knife that would be good at cutting utility wise because the tip, because it goes up and then back down. So the tip actually points down towards what you're cutting. It looked like it'd be a hell of a cutter, but I never tried one, so I don't know. My dog's more of a Cool Whip kind of dog. Evil E says, I think Fox knives are way overpriced. You know, I agree. I agree. I don't know about way, but they're definitely overpriced. I know the one that I did pick up most recently was overpriced. It wasn't too bad because it did have M390 on it, but I didn't feel like I got what I paid for. I felt like I was a little bit overpriced. Taught the turtle how to slow roll with pepperonis. Yes, the Togata in my cart is so nice. Really contemplating it. Blade HQ still has them. Bees Blades. Hey, bud. What's up, Jared? Smash that like button, everybody. Thank you. Thank you for the plug. Thank you. I appreciate that, bud. And thanks for the donation. Some need a couple cups. Some just need a teaspoon. Depends on the size of that doggy. I love me a big dog, man. A nice big one, like a bull mastiff. I fucking love bull mastiffs. The last dog that I had was a bull mastiff. Oh, she was gorgeous. She was a brindle, all brindle, beautiful. But man, just the size of them, I just love it. I feel like I'm wrestling with a bear or something when I'm playing with them. I like little dogs too, but not. I don't. I like little dogs. I've had little dogs. I think little dogs are awesome, and some of them, like certain breeds, are like they're a big dog and a little body, and I love those type of dogs. Connie Corsos, yes, Connie Corsos are awesome dogs. I love me a Connie Corso. Connie Corsos are a type of mastiff. Yes, they're badass dogs. They're very similar to a bull mastiff. Very similar. Just like the hell's it called? Oh man. I can't even think of the name of it now. The South African Bourboil. The South African Bourboil, another amazing breed. That is a very big mastiff. The English Mastiff. Bull Mastiffs are amazing. Last dog I had was an American Bulldog. He was a boss. I like American Bulldogs too, especially the Johnson Bloods with the big heads. Love them. Love them. Badass dogs. Only little. Wait, where'd it go? Fox Knives Night Industries V2. Yeah, that was the name of the kukri folder. Where'd it go? Only little dogs I like are terriers. Yes, terriers are a big dog and a little body. Um, Jack Russell Terriers, those things are crazy. One of the smartest dogs I ever trained, or the smartest dogs I ever trained, one was a Jack Russell, a healer. Healers are extremely intelligent. Poodles are very intelligent. All dogs are extremely intelligent. But man, that Jack Russell and that healer I trained, holy shit, were they smart. I could literally get the one to get me whatever I need. Like if I needed a shovel if I was digging a trench, that dog was down there digging a trench with me. If I said go get my shovel, that dog would go get the shovel. If I said get the hammer, it'd go get the hammer. It could barely pick it up, but it would fight like hell. The dog was such a working dog, but those dogs were bred to herd, cattle for hundreds of miles, thousands of cattle for hundreds of miles. They'd work 16-hour days. So their drive and their work like drive is so strong that if you don't have, like, if you're not working that breed, it could have a lot of issues because the dog needs to work. It is a 100% work dog. I like turtles. I like turtles too. I've had a bunch of them. Yes, Jared White loves turtles. Boston Terriers are awesome. It's what do they call that? The gentleman dog. My Bichon Frise is such a good dog. Best alarm system. That's, a lot of little dogs. That's what they were. They were, aside from rat baiting, because they were bred for rat baiting and as an alarm. That's back in the day alarm before we had batteries and alarms. Their ears would hear things coming before the big dog. So that was the alarm to get the security. Sound the alarm and then get the security dog. If in fact all dogs go to heaven and there are chihuahuas there, I will take the other option. Oh, I had a Rottie that would dive down underwater and get tires off the bottom where people would dump old tires. I used to have a Rottweiler named Bullet, and if you scratched him, his fangs would come out, and I'm talking about like the most vicious, snarling, crazy sound you ever could imagine. It would seem so vicious that you would never have a doubt in your mind he's about to rip your head off, but he loved it. And it's a reaction that some Rottweilers actually have. I found out that I thought it was just him, but it wasn't just him. Some Rottweilers have this effect that when you start scratching them and rubbing them, they go fucking crazy. And literally drool will be coming out and they'll be doing that like that crazy shit with their jaws, like acting like they're gonna rip your head off. But it's just because he loved it. Dobermans, I like Dobermans. Dobermans are great dogs. I've trained a few of them. That's funny as hell. But yeah, man, dogs are awesome. Dogs really truly are man's best friend, especially if they're trained. A healthy trained dog is better than a best friend. That's somebody that'll never leave your side. You ever heard this joke? There's a joke that says, if you want to find out who loves you more between your girlfriend and your dog, lock them both in a trunk for 2 hours. Come back and see which one's happy to see you. Oh, but dogs, though, man, they really are, man. Like I said, when they're trained, like there's a lot of dogs that don't get the type of training that they need. So you never get to see how intelligent that dog actually is. But when trained right, you'd be surprised. Like everybody's done this. I'm guilty too of calling a dog dumb. That dog's just dumb. I'll tell you what, in all my years, I've only seen one dog that actually had a mental issue. A lot of times that's what we say, right? That dog's just stupid. That dog's got a mental health issue. Like that dog's mentally challenged, right? One time I met a dog and it had been hit by a car 3 times in the head in one sitting. And it was smarter before that, but it wound up getting challenged after that. And but most of the time it's the training. Or actually every time. I'm not even gonna say most time, every time it's the training. So, but I'm guilty too. I've called dogs stupid and said that dog's a dumb dog until I acknowledged that what was really going on after I learned, because I didn't understand it. But after I learned dog training and understood that the dog just, it was a highly intelligent dog. All of them were. It's just the people training them did not understand how to teach that kind of breed or that kind of dog or that type of mentality from that dog.
It is. I am Nick Shabazz. I mean, no one knows what he looks like, so I very well could be Nick Shabazz.
Yeah,
Especially if he's making the accent.
She could be. She
This
could
is
be.
the real Nick, guys. It's me. No Batman mask, no makeup, no nothing.
Black Lab, best kid dog ever. but would it ever whine to go? Wait, but would it ever whine to go into the water? Yeah, black labs, golden retrievers, they're great family dogs. So are for children, pit bulls are really good with children.
Yes, I did.
They're
I'm
actually
sorry. I bet you don't miss having me here at all.
they're I was looking at what you were pointing at.
It does have a red tinge to it. Thank you for noticing.
Like a purple.
It's like a red. It's like a plum.
Like a dark cherry, black cherry, black
it's like
cherry.
one of those plums that's not all the way purple yet and has the slight red to it. You know what I'm talking about?
Yes.
You know what I mean?
Black cherry.
No.
You need to come out here. Plum. Yes, baby. I heard you.
Plum that's not all the way right.
You need to come out here to Hawaii. My Pitsky is super smart, but she's a goofball and never had proper training. Yeah, I'd love to, man. I'd love to. I'd love to come to Hawaii, but yeah, I'd love to meet your dog. I love dogs, period. So I'm always up for some dog training. But yeah, pit bulls are really good. Actually, in I think Britain or Europe, they're called the nanny dog, and they're called the nanny dog. See, they have such a bad reputation here in America because we fought them so much, and they've been fought and gotten a bad reputation because they're a good fighter, and they're a good fighter one because they're so devoted to their person, to the person that's with them. They want to win, and they're very tough. But that same toughness is what makes them great with children, because children tend to pinch and pick and pry and fall and trip and step on, and they can handle it.
I've never met a mean pit bull personally.
I've met a lot, but because they had problems. Baby, you're turning this chair into the table.
Turning Whoa! Can you relax? Whoa.
No, you're making me hit the table. Baby.
I'm making you have a better life.
Okay. Pit huskies make a weird mix. Yeah, I don't think. Okay.
Huskies? That seems like breeding a brother and a sister to me. Like, that just seems weird when we breed certain things together. It's kind of like when people do the really the snake breeding, where they breed things that they shouldn't breed and they start getting neurological issues. I know that's not necessarily the case with the pit husky, but I just feel like with certain breeds they're so different that why the fuck are we doing that?
I think huskies are one of the worst breeds for people to have. There's two breeds that were taught in like dog training school that cannot be 100% fully trusted off a leash. One of them being a husky, the other one being a beagle. Now, it's not saying that with all the training in the world that you can't have them off leash. That's not saying that. It's saying that the more than likely that even with a lot of training, if you let a husky off leash, it will run, right? Yeah. A husky is an escape artist. That's what they're called. Like, that's their nickname, the escape artist. You put them in the backyard, they're constantly looking for a way out. Anybody who owns a husky knows that. They know how much fence they had to fix, how many holes they had to fill, and all the bullshit. Now, beagles, it's the opposite. They follow their nose. It's nothing about escaping. It's that we bred them for hundreds of years for us to follow them. So a lot of hunting dogs follow us or follow the trail, but beagles, they lead us. So most animals, or not animals, dogs follow us. We're the leader, they follow us, and that's why they're just fine off leash. A beagle, we're supposed to follow them.
They get what they call nose blind, or no, like scent deaf. There's like a phrase for when a beagle catches a scent and they can't listen to you anymore. They literally don't fucking hear you, and because they're so on the scent. What's the word? It's called it's called I think not nose blind. That's the wrong word. That says it enough though.
Well, I mean, nose blind's fine. But what happens is their ears drag on the ground. Their ears drag the ground, and it brings the scent up to their nose, and it makes it to where they get it caught like in a cycle where they're constantly following it because they're constantly dragging that scent up, and it makes it to where they follow their nose. But it's been in their bloodline for hundreds of years to follow their nose. With other dogs, yes, they follow their nose, but they are also bred to do other jobs, not just follow their nose. So, and I've had or met lots of beagles that were just fine off of leash, especially in their older age. Like Kara, she had one. But a lot of them, you will have issues growing up through training and everything where they just follow their nose.
Good, but
and,
like she was good like 85% of the time.
right.
The other 15% of the time, if there was a scent, even if you had her on the leash, not off leash, on leash, if there was a scent,
No, we don't have a dog.
All of a sudden, she literally, and I'm a strong female, could pull me, and I would have to use probably at least like 50% of my strength to hold her in place. Like she could pull. You've walked her before. You remember when she would catch those one scents? She would plant her feet into the ground, all four, completely sideways, and be laying, trying to not let you pull her back, like completely sideways, planted in the ground because she wanted to follow a scent.
Yeah, we do have one dog. We got Douglas, actually, and his female
What did
friend.
you say that we don't have a dog?
I accidentally, somebody corrected me. Did you forget about Douglas? Yeah, I know. I don't know what happened to me.
A circle. How do you forget that you have a circle dog?
I have a French. I love French bulldogs. White with a patch and a speckled ear. Alfie is his name. 10 years old now, though. Oh boy, yeah, that is an old Frenchie. I love Frenchies. I love all bulldogs. Bulldogs are great.
I want a bulldog named Potato so bad.
Potato?
Yeah.
Name Tater for...
Yeah, Tater. That's what we'll call him, but his official name will be Potato.
But most dogs, though...
Hiya! Sorry, that's...
Damn, baby.
Well, that, baby, I, unlike you, have a...
Thanks, Chicago!
See it now?
Thank you, bud.
Do you even follow through?
Oh, my God.
Do you?
No, I don't, baby. I don't do the super stickers. Thank you. I appreciate it.
You understand that that's literally what half the people that come to these lives come for.
They don't when you're not here. They don't expect me to do the damn stickers. Right.
Might as well turn the screen black.
Exactly. I do sometimes.
Do you?
Yeah.
Why would you do
that? Just to piss them off. What's up, Andrew?
What y'all literally couldn't just do that.
Been kind of MIA recently, but still loving dropping in here and there. Same. Awesome, man. We're actually talking about Usler Customs earlier. I was thinking about you. My best dog was a pit Great Dane. He traveled everywhere with me. We lived in the Caribbean and he came spearfishing. Pits are so adaptable and rugged. They're the best. Yeah, sure. Great Danes are too. Great Danes are the biggest lap dog. They are amazing dogs. Both of those breeds are great dogs. I think both of them are awesome. Great Danes are awesome as they're growing up because they don't adapt to their body till they're like 2 years old because they're growing so fast that they look uncoordinated and they just look weird because they have long legs with a big old body. Where are you going?
Leaving.
Why?
Because I can feel I'm not.
No, you're wanting. Come sit down. Come here. But what? You want to sit on my lap? Here, so you got to help me with the thing though, because I'm not good left-handed. Switch sides. How about that? How about that? Switch sides. There we go. And then you can check on your super stickers. I've been in veterinary dentistry for 25 years. Vet field for 28 years. Awesome. We repair a ton of fractured jaws. No lie, 90% of them are from pit bulls. Yeah, I've definitely had my fair share of working on pit bull bites, and I've had my one healer had her stomach ripped out by a pit bull, but it's not because of the pit bull, it's because of the way it was raised and trained. I've trained probably more dogs I've trained were mostly pit bulls. I've trained a lot of different breeds, but the most breeds that I've trained were pit bulls and best dogs. I mean, the best, but also the most damaged dogs that I've ever dealt with were pit bulls. Now, there's lots of other breeds that had issues that I trained that were smaller that if they were a pit bull would have been way worse than the pit bull, but they're smaller. So they couldn't cause the damage that a pit bull can cause. But it was always the owners or the way it was trained. It was never the pit bull's fault. And I remember this one that had been thrown in a cage or whatever in a pit with a bunch of pit bulls and
Is that why
got
they're
ripped.
called pit bulls? Because you get thrown in pits.
Well, they were originally made for bull baiting and fighting, but yeah,
Well,
I
I guess the
guess.
fighting came after.
But
That kind of fighting.
well, same thing. They were bred for fighting and bull baiting to hang on to an.
Can I interrupt you?
You're gonna. So
No, I won't.
go ahead. What?
I was just gonna say, every time I think about pit bull fighting, I always think about chicken fighting. And how I don't remember what movie it was, but there's some movie where they show like the illegal chicken fighting, and they show that like this guy taped a razor blade to the bottom of his chicken's foot.
They do.
Yeah, but it was a movie where the guy like did it, and it was like an illegal thing to do in the match, even though the whole match was illegal, and then it like sliced the other chicken's throat. There was like a prize fighting chicken.
Some fights
Does
are
anyone
made like
remember
that.
what movie that is?
Russ is asking how's work.
Stressful.
She don't want to talk about it.
It's just so stressful.
But anyway, so the
I
pit
think
bull.
that you don't want me to talk about it.
What, work?
Yeah.
Well, no, you
'Cause
made that
it's
face, so
stressful.
I said she don't want to talk about it because you made that face like.
It's just stressful.
You mean cockfighting? One killed the owner recently. But the pit bull though that was thrown in the pen with the other pit bulls, it was a puppy and it was ripped apart by these other dogs. So it made it vicious at first. It was an amazing dog. After just a couple weeks of being around proper training, the dog was awesome forever. But at first, it had been devastated by dogs because the owner threw it in the pit with a bunch of other dogs to rip it to pieces while he's training the other dogs, to kill things. He used it to get killed, and it lived, but it had scars all over it. But amazing dog. It was such a good dog. And afterwards, it was so good with other dogs. It was so good with children, with everybody. But luckily, it happened to it when it was young. But yeah, people are. It drives me nuts sometimes, some of the people that have dogs that should not have dogs. And I was actually talking to somebody the other day. They used the phrase beat their dog's ass, and I went off. Like, I started going crazy, talking shit, and it really upset me because and I know they probably used it loosely, and they're probably just talking about punishing their dog. When you punish your dog, the only way you have to punish your dog, the actual punish, there's a couple ways you can punish your dog. Hey, Chicago, Chi-Town 23, thank you, bud. Thank you for the donation, man. The only two ways you should punish your dog. One,
unboxing.
Being time. We already unboxed it, baby. That was earlier.
I don't have any.
We unboxed a bunch of stuff. You want something to unbox?
I'm a failure. What's that?
Don't worry about that.
What is this?
It's a flashlight.
Why?
From Metallica. It's for you.
No, it's not.
Yeah, it is.
Oh, why?
Okay.
Is it really?
Yeah.
This is dope.
But is two ways to discipline your dog. One being timeout. So you can put your dog in timeout for like 20 minutes and making them go lay down, sit there, whatever. Like if you have a rambunctious dog, right, and you need him to calm down, you can keep making him sit. No matter how many times you have to make him sit till he relaxes. But if he's doing something messed up, you can make him go lay down. Now, if you actually have to get physical with a dog, right, so whatever the situation is, the dog, because there are some very stubborn breeds or very tough breeds, like a pit bull. Pit bull's very tough. Their hide's very tough. Their neck's they're just very tough. So you don't ever smack them or hit them. All you do is you make a noise and touch them. That's it. You just touch them. So the touching is going to be the correction. The noise is going to be what's telling them, right? So the thing is, you want to make sure that correction sound is he knows as a no, or that it's not good. You don't want to confuse the dog thinking that that's a good sign, so you never use it for anything good. So you have to be able to change your language up for when he's doing the good behavior, the excited voice of good boy, yo, you're doing a good job, make him know he's doing a good job, so that when you go to that bad dog, you don't say bad dog, but just do as a growl, because a growl goes all the way back to their puppy. So when they're a puppy, their mother corrects them by growling. So if they hear that instantly know that's wrong. That's bad. I know that that means I'm mad. So you can do that and the dog will know that means bad. Now, if he keeps doing it, now you can use the touch. The touch is just the correction, and you can use a little bit more aggressive. Never hit, never smack, just a poke, right? And it's just tough because the dog's tough. It's not like the dog's weak, but it's just correcting the dog. And that's in times where you actually have to really seriously correct your dog. Never during real training where you're trying to teach him a behavior. Because if you're trying to teach him a behavior, you should only correct him with positive reinforcement because you want him to continue to want to learn. He won't want to learn if he's bad dog, the whole time. Now you can correct him with the ahs, the growls, like if he's doing something out of line, and then instantly, as soon as he stops whatever that behavior is, tell him good boy so that he knows not this. You want to instantly correct. A dog is instant. So whatever they're doing in that moment is what you need to correct or say good boy to. Where you going?
I gotta go pee.
You leaving?
Yeah.
That was quick.
But you're just talking. I'm just sitting.
Well, that's what the live is.
No, I know. I gotta pee. You're doing your thing. I don't want to just sit here like.
Well, you can talk. I wanted to finish what I was saying.
It wasn't about that. It wasn't about me not talking. I just gotta go pee. And you're almost done anyway. Yeah. I love you.
All right, love you.
Bye, guys.
Say bye, guys. Bye. I've heard in horses, you have only 2 to 3 seconds to discipline because it only understands the moments for the correction. Right. Same thing with a dog. Same exact thing. Like one of the worst things to do is if a dog, like say if a dog runs off, this is just to help people understand. If a dog runs off, say they're running wild and they won't come back to you. Now the dog comes back to you. If you punish that dog has no idea he's being punished for running away. He thinks he's being punished for coming back. So now you just encourage that dog to never, ever come back to you. You literally just made a dog that will always run from you because he knows when he comes back, he will be punished. You want to congratulate him when he comes back. I don't give a fuck if you chased him around the neighborhood for 6 hours. When he comes back to you, praise him. He will come back the next time. You want to go into a field or a yard and let him run. Let him run. As long as it's a confined area that he can run. Let him come up to you and leave. So when he comes up to you, praise him, treat him, let him leave. The next time he comes up to you, praise him, treat him, let him leave. He'll learn that coming back to you is a good thing. And then he'll never run off from you. And then you can call him and he'll come right up to you. It's called teaching a recall. So teaching a recall is one of the most easiest things for me to do, even if it's a dog that constantly runs away from their owner. It's so easy. I just have to do the opposite of what their owner's doing. The owner's basically encouraging the dog to never come back to it by disciplining it when it comes back. Well, just like dude was saying with the horses, they're only going to have the memory for a couple seconds of what they just did. So say if the dog gets into the garbage can or something, you come back. You don't know how long ago it was. You walk in the house. Everybody has that saying where, and I used to do the same thing. So trust me, I know what it feels like to think like this. I know exactly what it feels like. But everybody has used this term. Oh, he knows what he did. Look at him. His tail's between his legs. Look at his ears. He knows what he did. No, he doesn't. You know what he is doing right then? He can literally smell the pheromones coming off of you getting mad. He can see it in every bit of body language you have that you can't seem to understand because you don't speak dog, but he does. And in dog language, they speak body language. So like we speak English right now, when you walk in the house, you're literally screaming, I'm mad, I'm mad, I'm mad with every fiber in your personality, your body language, your being. You are screaming, I'm mad to him, even if you haven't said it. Nothing's come out of your mouth yet, but he can see it. That's why his tail's between his legs. That's why he's scared. That's why it looks like to you that he knows what he did wrong. No, he knows you see something that you don't like. Now, if you caught him doing it, then yeah, he knows what he did wrong because you're catching him in the act. Completely different. If it was more than 30 seconds ago, he has no recollection. He just knows you're mad. That's it. And if you want to practice it, walk in your house next time you know your dog did something bad. Walk in with a bunch of treats screaming, good boy, you want to go for a walk? See how fucking scared he looks. He won't. He'll be excited to see you and be ready for the treats because he won't, he'll understand that he did something wrong. You got to understand the timing of which you got to catch your dog doing something bad. That's why you use the phrase set them up for success. You want to catch them doing the good behaviors so that you can reward it. And then if the bad behaviors, set him up for success. So if you are trying to stop him from doing something bad, set him up to do that bad thing so that he can do it so you can catch him. And when you catch him, you're not going to be that mad because you want him to do it. Because by him doing it makes you more successful in catching him doing it so you can correct him. Like I used to use toilet paper towels, or not toilet paper, paper towels, the rolls, and I would set them up. All right. I'd set them up around the house, knowing that dog's gonna fuck it up. I know the dog's gonna fuck it up, or the dog's gonna knock it over. But when he did, I could correct him right then and there. And it would teach him not to walk around and knock things over. And it would teach him not to chew on things that aren't his. And it was very successful. Dude, I had a nervous Chewini, and I jokingly said, "Don't eyeball me sternly." She immediately started trembling and puking everywhere. I felt horrible. Yeah, there's some breeds that require little to no. Like it's hard to explain because it just depends on the breed. Now, Chihuahuas have a natural shake. Most of them, almost all of them, naturally shake, but there are different breeds, and some breeds are it's just not even that whole breed, but that specific dog, it's so bad to discipline them. You do not, like, the last thing you have to do is discipline them. And there's a lot of dogs that wind up in this category where they can only respond to positive reinforcement. That's why 90% of training is positive reinforcement, because all dogs respond to positive reinforcement. Some need correction. That's not meaning you're just punishing the shit out of them. That means you're correcting the behavior right then and then praising them when they change it. Like if I tell a dog to, like, if there's a garbage can and he puts his nose up to the garbage can and I say, ah, and he takes his nose away from the garbage can, good boy. I'm telling him, by taking your nose away, you did what I wanted. So I'm praising him for taking his nose away from the garbage. Do you understand? Like, his nose was just by the garbage. So I say, ah, and now he moves it away because I made that sound. Takes it away. Now I praise him. So he learns that what I want is his nose away from the garbage. But a lot of dogs, they need zero punishment. They can only handle positive reinforcement because it scares them so bad. It's so horrible to them, to like their mind and everything, that it winds up becoming it winds up destroying them, their personality. And you need a dog to be brave. You want a dog to be fearless. You want a dog to be excited. And some dogs, though, if you punish them, you're going to wind up making a dog that pees on themselves and runs from you and screams. And that's not it just winds up making a bad dog when you're correcting a dog that needs only positive reinforcement. I'm not sure if we're talking about me, but exactly, so much is body language with animals, not just dogs. Yep. Even reptiles, they understand body language. Yeah. Well, all animals, they every animal speaks a little bit of a different type of language. So like a reptile, right? That's what I first got into, was reptiles. I was into reptiles way before I got into dog training or anything like that. And I used to raise reptiles and I'd sell them. So I'd get them while they were mean and aggressive, and I would keep them for about a year. And I say train, but it's not really training. It's more just getting them to be handled and good with people. And then I'd sell them for more money. But with them, it's just it's so deep. It's a lot deeper than, teaching, training a dog. But there's one guy I can recommend watching though for reptiles. He's really good. But yeah, it's kind of like positive reinforcement, except for different, because their attention span and everything is mostly food oriented. So you want to use food and you want to give it to them a certain way, and you just want like the environment to be specific for reptiles with you in it with him in a correct way so that he sees you as a positive thing, something that brings the food but isn't the food. Like you don't want to feed him with your hand, right? Because your hand, then he thinks your hand brings food. No, your hand should bring like the little tweezers, that pick up the food. So then he doesn't think that your hand is the food or your hand's bringing the food. He knows that you just bring food. Like when you come, food happens, basically. We getting the dumpling chick story, or is it? Oh yeah, you guys want to tell? Okay. So all right, we'll tell that now. Get out of here. So this is you guys gotta remember, I was very immature, younger. I was probably 19, so I was with this chick, and so let me just go back really quick. So I was with this girl, and I was cheating on her, and I was just, bad dude, very immature. I wouldn't even call myself a man at the time. I was just a boy. And, wound up breaking up with her and getting with this other girl. And now I was with this girl, and I didn't cheat on this girl yet. And I was in my second place. So, at 18, I got my first apartment, and I got my first house or duplex when I was 19. So we moved in together. We had this duplex, and it was beyond toxic. Like it was a very toxic. It was it was good for a while, but it wound up being toxic, and not even on my end. She was very, very toxic, and very toxic for me especially. And so I broke up with her. Well, when I broke up with her, being the piece of shit I was at the time, my what do you do when you break up with your girl at 19? You call your ex. so so since I had just broken up with her, just literally, she just walked out the door. I kicked her out, not kicked her literally, but I kicked her ass out the door. Our pictures are still all over the wall, right? I still have stuff all over the wall. Well, I'm calling the ex up to, come through, and I know she's coming, right? She's on her way. So I got pictures all over the walls. So I had the bright idea. I had to hide the pictures, right? I have to hide the pictures. So where do you hide pictures when you have 10 minutes? What do? You got pictures everywhere. Your whole house is covered in you and your new girlfriend. So you got to hide the pictures. Where do you put them? Under the couch. so so now I'm there with my ex. The oven might have been good, but who knows? We might have had to cook that night. Anyway, so now Kara's back. I don't know if I should keep telling this story. So are you coming back?
Me?
Yeah.
No.
Okay. I love you. Okay, I'm almost done. So so she winds up, she comes over and we're hanging out, all the pictures are under the couch. And about an hour in, she comes back. And the one I just broke up with comes back. And she obviously probably circled the block and seen that, she was there, and she knows her car, so she knew it was up. So she comes walking in. Well, she starts fighting with me at first, and she sees I'm with so and so, blah blah. Well, then she starts looking around. Where the fuck are the pictures? And I'm like, and I'm just like, get the hell out. Like, I don't want no part of it. But she keeps freaking out about these pictures. Where are these fucking pictures? Where are the pictures? And I don't know what to do, you know, and I'm arguing, just get out, you know, I'm trying to get her out. Oh, the other girl already left. She's like, fuck this shit. Like, I'm not staying here for this. So now I'm sitting there fighting. And I'm like, just like, get out, you know, trying to get her out. Well, then finally, I'm like, you know what? You want, because I just wanted her out so bad. Like, get the fuck. I was like, you want to know where the pictures are? You want to know where the pictures are? I start pulling them out from underneath the couch. Fucking not throwing them at her, but like, you know, throwing them on top of the couch. Like, here, take the motherfuckers. But imagine, you know, like her thoughts and her, you know, she realized in that moment that I was getting somebody over there so quick that I didn't have no choice but to hide all the pictures under the damn couch. So I'm caught up. Mind you, I had just been shot in the eye maybe a month before this or something. My eye was still healing. I was still pretty much blind in one eye. So I have one injured eye and one eye I can see with. She punched me square in the fucking eye, and I couldn't even see it coming because I'm blind. It hits me in the eye. And I yell at her. I was like, "Damn it, that's my good eye." Took that one. Then I'm still trying to get her out, you know. And so the second swing she tries to throw at me, which I swear to God, this is how it went. I know it sounds like some G shit, but this is exactly how it went because I knew another one was coming. I knew I was getting, yeah, exactly. But I knew another one was getting swung because of like the words that were coming out of my mouth, you know, because I just wanted her to leave. And it's like, if I got to say, you know what, I got to get her the fuck out of here. Like I said, this was very toxic. Anyways, and so we're in the doorway, and I just want her to get out, but I'm not willing to put my hands physically on her to get her out. You know, I'm not willing to do that. I've never, you know, obviously I've never done anything like that. And I mean, like in like even like in a you know, any kind of way. So she swings at me again. This time I catch her fucking hand like some Jean-Claude Van Damme shit. Just go, bam! I catch it right in the air. And I used her hand as she punched me because I caught it because I knew it was coming. Caught it perfectly. And I just yoink, pulled her right out of the door, walked in and slammed the door behind me. But but yeah, it was definitely a crazy situation. And that was hilarious now that I think back at it. And what's funny about it is I even had my buddy over and had his ex come over too. So it was like the two exes were there, and then you know, old girl showed up with her friend, which was his girl. Like it was just like it was a fucking mess. A hilarious mess now when I think about it. Wild times of journey. Yeah, for sure. That definitely was a wild time. I did have an eye patch at the time. I did. I had to. Uh, I had to. I was blind for. I was fully blind for about two weeks to a month. Like 100% blind for like 2 weeks at least, and then it took me about a month to start getting my vision back. And then once I started getting my vision back, it was all blue. Everything was blue. She was probably like, "Holy shit, did that just happen?" Yeah, that's how I was too. Um, but I'm about to get out of here, guys. I love you guys. Thank you guys for watching. I appreciate all the donations and thanks for hanging out. We've been going for about 2.5 hours. You guys are awesome. Peace.